Let's talk about a real-world solution given the problem of marketing attribution, or in which media channel should I invest my money to get the best results. Now, let's start here with Gartner. Gartner claims that Databricks is the only cloud native vendor as a leader in both Gartner Magic Quadrants of Cloud Database Management System and data science and machine learning platforms. So, why not follow what Gartner calls the only cloud native vendor for data science machine learning? And here we go. So, our specific problem is advertising effectiveness. Where should we spend our money if we want to have some sales forecasting and we want to have some marketing attribution? So what is our aim? We want to have a faster time to insight. We want to have a better granularity of our media mix model. We want to have a model that does the forecasting for us and attribution by combining the data ingestion, the data preparation. We want to have a platform for some agile data analysis. And on the same platform, we want to have our machine learning models that all run on a uniform platform to generate our insights. Now, this is easy from the technical point of view, and from the market point of view, clear again, brands are shifting their budget to a more agile channels, digital ads and promotions. And marketing attribution is simply the task of determining which marketing tactics are contributing to sales. You want to find the winner. You want to invest in the winner. So, and what are the typical questions you have to the attribution models? Which messages a consumer was exposed to and on what channel? Which touch point had the greatest impact on a decision to purchase? The role of the messaging sequencing? And of course, which messaging gets the best results from each consumer if you have consumer cohorts. So again, short summary. The delta is marketing attribution models assign value to marketing campaigns through statistical analysis at a more user-specific level, where our MMMs, they use in general quite aggregated data. But let's start now, dive into some beautiful real-world example. And here all the credits go to Databricks. I have here the Databricks site I use. I follow their example. They are the authors. They have the credits for this. And you can see the HTTPS link is right here on your presentation slide. And I generally recommend databricks.com, the blog. They have really informative blog continuously. So if you want to follow somebody who is really a leader in this area, following Gartner, I would really recommend Databricks. So here we go. Let's start up our Databricks notebook in the cloud. And now we are here live in a Databricks notebook. This is a notebook provided by Databricks in their solution series, where they show you if you want to identify a marketing campaign effectiveness, how can you forecast your foot traffic to your restaurant, to your fast food chain, given that you just launched a marketing campaign or multiple marketing campaigns in different medias. So what we have to do is, at first, we look at the solution, how we're going to construct our solution, our data that we are able to apply machine learning. So at a high level, we can say we are connecting the time series of regional sales to regional offline and online ad impression over a certain time period, let's say 30 days. And then we use machine learning to compare the different kind of measurements for TV impression, banner clicks, social likes across all regions. And then we correlate the type of engagement to incremental regional sales in order to build our attribution and forecasting models. So this is it here, what I just told you in this simple visualization. Now, The base data we have is here safe graph patterns, and this is a data set you can buy or you can get for aggregated visitor foot traffic. So you know in a certain region, in a certain area, the foot traffic that is happening there. Let's say we have our fast food restaurants exactly over there. And these are the data that we have at the first level. And then, of course, we want to ingest a lot of different data. The data have different formats and they come from different sources. We have a database data, we have the data from Google Trend, we have our web visit data, we have the banner ads and the spend. And then we have all performance data we will receive from our social media channels. And of course, you can further distinguish the data input, the data pipeline. Is it a batch, so 10,000 data per batch, or is it a streaming data? So every hour, every minute, you get new data and you have new data in your pipeline. So then comes the big chunk of your data lake, but of course, we want to operate on an intelligent data lake. So we have here a delta lake data structure where we have 3 sets. The first one is just collect all data. And they can be what I call also the dirty data. Just get all the data you have. And then second step, this is the first is called bronze and silver and gold. At the silver stage, we do some feature engineering. We do it a little bit clean. We see what we have. We bring it in the right format. We have a day representation if we're interested in daily maximums or whatsoever. And then at the gold standard, you have some value-added data added to this data. For example, if you have your food data and your social media data, you can bring them together. You store it in your Delta Lake, and you have a data set that is ready for your data scientists to be explored and machine learning or other SQL commands to be examined to understand the pattern. Because what you want is that you want to find out which of your online media channel had was the most effective channel to drive the in-store visits at your location in, let's say, New York City. So we want to have the forecasting, we want to build a model, attribution model, MMM model, we want to have a finer machine learned model, and this is simply to show you how it is done. So at first we have to ingest all the data. This is our bronze level, as I showed you. So we read our data, we get it in a CSV file format. So we say, okay, we're operating on a Spark cluster ETL1, as you can see in the top left corner. So I see a Spark, read, format my CSV, and I have my options. And you create a temporary view. And this is the temporary view that you get. You have your year, month in a format that's not very nice. You visit by day. And then you have data range and whatsoever. And we just collect all the data, the dirty data, not clean data. So we say, okay, beautiful, write our temporary view to a format delta, and we save it as a bronze level dataset. Now, if you want to store visit in different metropolitan statistical areas, MSA areas, we are now feature engineering, and we are now entering the silver area. So what we want is the visit by date. So we exclude the data in separate rows. Yeah, this is just simple Python. And what you end up with is that you have then a representation where you have the year, okay, 2019, the month, and the day. So this is exactly what we are looking for. Year, month, date, and the number of visits in your brick and mortar stores. And then, of course, after the feature engineering, we say, okay, let's write it to our Delta Lake, and we call it now as a silver data set. And now comes the part where we enrich our food data with our media data. And this is now the analytics ready level. This is our gold status. And now we bring in the various channel of media data. And as you can see, you load here your banner impression. Here you load your social media accounts, your likes, and then you have here the landing page visit. And of course, if you want, you can have your Google Trend data implemented, and you will receive it very simple. and a Pyspark data frame. And if you want to have a look at it. So you see your ups and downs, and you can really discriminate from the time of December 2019 to February 2020. You see all the ups and downs, and this is beautiful. And this is what we will need also to include in our data. This is the basic data for machine learning. So what we end up with is a Spark. We create a Spark data frame. We love Spark data frames as data scientists. And it looks like this. So you have your region. Let's say we are only interested in New York City. Then we have the year, the month, and each specific days. We have the number of visits to our brick and mortar stores. And then we have also included our banner impression, our social media likes, our social media performance measures, what we have, our landing page visit, or whatever data you have from your social media channels. You can ingest it here. And yeah, and you see foot rate traffic from there. This is again our thing, what we have, number of visits. Okay. And then you write everything to your Delta Lake, and now you're at the gold standard. Beautiful. If it doesn't exist, yeah, you create it. This is it. So first part finished. We have now the data. Let's have a short summary. We have now the data from our the foot traffic. Then we have the Google Trend data, all the social media data. We have collected the data. Then we cleaned the data. We did some feature engineering. In our case, was split it up in specific location or specific addresses or specific time of date. And then you combine it with added value data. So you have here now the social media likes that you received after the campaign, or 2 days after the campaign, or 3 days after the campaign, whatever you decide is your specific time frame in what you end up with. And it's beautiful because in a Delta structure, you have data governance. So you have all the governance structures that you need by law. This is taken care of by the Delta Lake itself. You don't have to employ somebody who takes care about this. It's done. And what you end up is a gold data set where you really have the data ready to take the next step. And in the next video, I will show you with this beautiful gold data set that we have cleaned and prepared perfectly for our machine learning task. Or if you want just have a business intelligence structure where you have your SQL data, your SQL commands that you can query your data. But we are interested in building a machine learning model where we have now the attribution or the MMMs now in a finer grained particular model, and we will see what can machine learning achieve for us. Are we able to pick out which media channel was most successful to increase our traffic to our brick and mortar stores of a particular fast food chain in New York City?